Oh, sorry, the audio wasn't on. Welcome back to a not brand new tutorial this time, but a brand new live stream. And today we're gonna sculpt some dinosaurs around 30 minutes each. It's like my idea, and you guys, of course, are gonna get to help to choose these dinosaurs when you guys, if you guys want to do that. But each 30 minutes, I'm gonna create a new dinosaur. So yeah, that's everything. So let's begin. Just gonna add some. Let's start with the Giga or Giganotosaurus. Just gonna start off with that. And just speed sculpt. Alright. Okay, so to begin speed sculpting, I'm just using one of these like spheres here. And then just very quickly blocking everything in. You can see here the dinosaur silhouette, right? And then just here, very simply starting to block in the shapes. It's super simplistic, but it's so useful, you know? So just something like this, just blocking them in, just looking at how the skull looks, how everything just flows together as like nice shapes. Something like this, and then the neck down like this. Here the arm, and then the scapula, of course. Here we're not gonna have anything because we do not have that time. Right. Somewhat like this. Then just very quickly changing the proportions. We very soon wants to begin like with the more serious sculpting, you know, with sculpting not scales, but you know, eyes and stuff like that, more details. So just very quickly want to block this in and just get going with the project. Something like this. Not something like that, that looks insane. Something like that maybe, and then somewhat like this. Not too much, you know, just adding the shapes, building up some stuff, not making it too complicated, at least not to begin with, because then it's gonna become a little bit too difficult, you know. I don't have a lot of time for this, so I just want to really quickly sculpt something just to practice. Somewhat like this. So I thought, why not just practice with you guys instead of just sitting all by myself here and just, you know, sculpting. Right. Somewhat like this. And then something like that. Doesn't look too good out right now, but don't you worry, it's gonna look a lot better out very soon. Somewhat like that. Let's take a look from the front, you know. Need to find an image as well, or a reference as I like to call it. So I like that one, and of course that one as well. You can add this one. We're just gonna work on, like, yeah, it's a lot of fun just to sculpt a lot of dinos. Not gonna lie, it's freaking amazing. Alright, and then here, somewhat like this. Then here, just building some volume. Not super difficult, maybe. Not like that. Here, yes, Dynamesh. Yeah, something like this. Super useful. Alright. We gotta start blocking in the shapes. Right, something like this, and then yes, gotta get these bone structure in here. It's not super like easy to do so, so we gotta take a little bit of time just right at this point to just block those shapes in. To block in those shapes. Somewhat like this, maybe. Then somewhat like this. Here at the front, just adding this. Super basic right now. Like keeping this really like light right now. Not doing too much over exaggerations and stuff like that, because right now we don't gonna earn anything in that, or with that. Somewhat like this maybe. Yeah, something like that. Real cool, real cool. There, do you see how we just got the proportions down a lot better? And now we just gonna nail them from the front. Right, we want a very specific shape. I can see it in my head, you know? Right. Something like this. Then here, just erasing this downwards. Adding some volume here. Then right here, just creating that volume. And now we're just gonna turn the face downwards a little bit. Somewhat like this. And somewhat like this, guys. Yeah, I think this is in the right direction. The face from the front looks horrifyingly bad. So let's try to fix it. And how to fix that? That's a very good question. Don't think I have a skeleton wrap from the front. Yeah, but that's not from that. It's close enough. Close enough. I'm just gonna take this reference that I just found. Sorry guys, can show you guys the references. Somewhat like this. And then you right here just adding it downwards like this, and here let's just very quickly take the like damn standard to just get through the head like this. Sounds a little bit harsh maybe, but yeah. Okay, let's just oversimplify this guy. We don't want it to look like a Dilophosaurus either. So something like this maybe. And yes, right here, adding all of this. Adding the volume, really important. And then here just adding some more volume. Adding the volume bit by bit. And here just creating the skeleton structure. I don't know the skeleton structure too well, but I know a little bit of it. And that's good enough for this sculpture. So here, just splitting it in half. Okay, somewhat like this. Then right here, just adding that. Then going down with the volume. Yeah, I've not really created this before, so this is kinda like new to me, so it's gonna take a little bit longer time than usual. Haven't sculpted for that long, but you know, just trying to learn how to sculpt something like this, because that's pretty new to me. I love sculpting dinosaurs, but not really that good at it, maybe. Alright. Alright, somewhat like you can kinda see the proportions. They are not super good maybe, but they are kinda starting to become somewhat, or something. Can you see how like this is very, very new? Somewhat like this. And let's do something like that. Alright, and then just let's go to a better reference. Let's go to this one, because I love this reference actually. Yeah, it's super cool. And then somewhat like this. Right. And then right here, and then here we're also gonna have some kind of like big, like, not claw, but spikes or scales, maybe more the proper word. Somewhat like this is probably what I'm thinking. Alright, this is why you should spend more time at your proportions. Otherwise they very easily start to look somewhat like this. This is basically not acceptable to me. Right, so just gonna work the proportions a little bit more. The proportions is like what's gonna make or break your sculpture, right? So it's gotta work on them a little bit more than I have. Because they are the most important part of the entire sculpture, if you ask me. Right, something like this. Right, and then just here adding some volume. Somewhat like this. Then from the front we need to fix the proportions quite a lot, gotta be honest. let's just see how this sculpture has evolved. It's starting to get somewhere at least. I ain't gonna say it's looking like pretty or good out right now, but at least it's starting to get somewhere. Starting to be recognizable as a dinosaur. That's a very good start when you can see the like recognition or somewhat looking like what it's supposed to look like. We are trying to speed sculpt the Giganotosaurus from Jurassic World Dominion, the newest in the trilogy, the newest in the franchise, newest in the like Jurassic franchise, right? And yeah, so just trying to sculpt that dinosaur or speed sculpt. Alright, here we have the eye, and then we have these parts that go downwards below the eye. But yes, something like this. Something like that. And then here, somewhat like this. Just trying to sculpt this all a little bit at a time, you know. Should we really focus on the front when we haven't even like made the side good yet? And over half the time is already gone. Just thinking out loud right now. Okay, so here, just looking at the reference, first thing I need to do is to first make this wider. Try to make this match somewhat of a side profile. Then try to block this inwards so this can go outwards. And that means this as well should go very, very much inwards. Something more like so, but I do want to push it outwards still. Yeah, so don't really know. Somewhat like this, maybe. This is what you guys think. Your opinion are pretty important, so yeah, I don't think it looks good out right now. Just gonna start off with that. Right now it's basically nothing, it's just something, you know. But from that to that, that's a pretty huge difference. Just in like front, you know, it's a very, very huge difference. And it's starting to get somewhere. Right. Wait 1 second, guys. Yep, so, right. Right, we have 10 minutes left, and that's all we have left on the Giganotosaurus. Then we're gonna move on to a new dino. So maybe just need to just be a little bit more happy with this. So we can move on to the next step. Come on! Oh, wait, this has a lot to do with it as well. If I have like this, I'm not gonna be happy. But like that, pretty happy actually. Pleased with it if it's like so. Then I know it's a little bit of a curvature in this dinosaur's, like, not anatomy, but I know it's a little bit of curvature in the bone. Yeah, that's anatomy. Sorry, just a little bit tired today, guys. Well, I'm always tired. Right, and something like that. Let's try to sculpt an eye real quick. Let's see, or that's what feels most important to me right now, is getting this eye somewhat blocked in. Somewhat like this, just blocked in real quick. And then having the shape around somewhat like that. Trying to get these moved around like this. Right, something like this. Then I'm just gonna first do something not like that. I'm just gonna smooth it out a little bit. Don't do that. You don't really like know what you're doing, you know. So don't recommend doing that for this, but that's the quickest way I can do it. And I have 7 minutes left. That's a little bit stressful. Alright. Then let's mirror it. Whoa! Something like that. Let's do something like that. Let's do something like this. And we have an eye. We almost have an eye. Now we have an eye. Come on, I gotta make something a little bit better on this. Gotta have a little bit more style, you know? Starting to get somewhere, but not like anywhere where I would like to see it. But this is like a 20 or 30 minutes, but yeah, basically 25-minute sculpture, so can't expect too much, right? Somewhat like this. Alright, somewhat like that. Somewhat like that, pushing it inwards. And right here. So that look horrifyingly bad. Yeah, this is definitely best eye I've ever made, guys. Yeah, you've never seen anything better than this, right? It's so bad. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Do something quick like this. It's I need to accept that it can't be perfect. Or even near perfect. You just gotta scale it down a little bit and move the eye a little bit more where it's supposed to be. And here we're supposed to move it a lot more forward, like so. It's the silhouette that makes or breaks eye, and these silhouettes definitely are more breaking it than helping it. But yeah, let's not have too high expectation for these short sculptures, right? You can still see it's kinda starting to look like a dinosaur. We have 4 minutes left to do some final tweaks. So let's do them. Alright, and then something like this. Don't know how smart that was, but let's keep with it. Let's keep it like going like this, because it's starting to get a little bit of a better feel, I think. Okay, not that low. No. Whoops. Yeah, somewhat like that. We gotta round this out a little bit. Way better that it's more round and just a bit higher up. That's a lot better if it's more like that. So I'm gonna keep it like so. Alright, and something like this maybe. I'm very concentrated right now because these are like the final, not seconds, final 2 minutes. It's basically seconds left. So I'm just focusing really like intensely just to get something out of this sculpture. Right, and then let's just very quickly draw something up like so. And then here, let's do something like that. And then right here, let's make sure this turns towards the right direction like so. Let's start off with just doing somewhat like so. And now we have 1 minute left, so basically just seconds. We have just a couple of seconds left, you know. That's a little bit more stressful. Alright. Somewhat like that. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. And then just not that, not that, not some nothing like that. Here just adding something to the lower jaw. Something like this. And then something here. Somewhat like this. And now basically the time is over. It's gonna do some final tweaks real quickly. And okay, couple of seconds left. Let's leave it there. Alright guys, so this is the first dinosaur. It looks super bad from the front, but right, here is the first dino. So just gonna give it proper like specularity to begin with. But don't like that look. It's something like that. So I'm gonna go into specular curve and make it a little bit more like so. Somewhat like that. That's our first dino. So, any of you guys have any suggestions? Because, yeah, otherwise this stream is pretty much dead. Don't even know if there's anybody watching this right now. Okay, let's see if we get any suggestions. Otherwise, I guess it's kind of like just working another half hour. This guy, maybe? This guy feels pretty done. Could have gone more like that look, maybe. That. Right, doesn't seem like anybody's watching, so yeah, I gave you guys like 3 minutes more. And if I get a suggestion, we'll keep going. Otherwise, we'll end the stream. Alright. That's the idea. Let's just keep sculpting at this guy. Alright, so right here, having the shape here. Adding a little bit of a shape in the middle there. And then right here, in this shape, more something like this. Right. Something like that. Let's just take this a little bit higher up. Yeah, so here, let's just make something like this, and then something like that, something like this, and something like that. Alright guys, you ain't gonna give me any suggestions, so gonna end the stream. Sorry guys.